So I guess I am introing a new vlog. So it is Saturday, January 15th, and it is almost 8 o'clock at night. And I am currently trying to import some videos onto my phone so I can edit my newest vlog. My vlog that's coming out before this one. And while I do that, I want to read some of Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. I am currently on page 114, so I'm a little over halfway through the book. I think that there's less than 200 pages in this book. I want to say that it's about like 190 something. Maybe it's just at 200. Yeah, it's just like literally exactly 200 pages. 201 pages. So I need to read this book. I have like around 80 something pages left. I probably won't finish this book tonight. It just doesn't seem realistic, but I want to try to get as much of it done as possible. I have a lot of thoughts about it. Not all the thoughts are super positive. I feel like this could have been a really good short story, but instead it's like a full-length novel, and it's a little much. It's a little much. J.D. Salinger. I don't remember being nearly this, like, feeling like it was so dragged out in Catcher in the Rye. Like, I feel like Catcher in the Rye, a lot of stuff happened in that book. Am I right or am I wrong? Like, it feels like we got a lot of stuff in Catcher in the Rye. I mean, it's been, oh God, it's been like 10 years since I read that book. But it feels like that one was more exciting than Franny and Zoe. Franny and Zoe is like literally 100 pages are spent in the bathtub or in the bathroom, and I'm just like, can we move on from that? Also, I started an audiobook while we were driving down to go take my brother and his girlfriend to LAX, and that was Winter Song by S.J. Jones. I decided when I finished the second book in the Glass Alliance trilogy series, I decided I wanted like a standalone fantasy novel to read, and then I remembered that I had Winter Song, and then I also remembered that it's not a standalone. I literally searched it on Hoopla, and the first book and the sequel popped up, and I was like, oh, for some reason I thought it was a standalone, but I have it on Hoopla, so we're all good. And both books are on Hoopla. And currently, I don't think I'm very far into it. Let me see. I'm about 14% into it, so that's like 2 hours. I'll probably read more of it before I go to bed because I love doing that. I will literally stay up so late listening to an audiobook, playing Tetris, and not going to sleep. So I'm gonna try to relax. I might make myself a coffee. I mean, it is 8 o'clock, but I guess you know what? I do have some decaf coffee, so I can make myself a coffee and we'll read some more Franny and Zoe, and I'll let you know. Also, it's really funny because I went into this book not knowing a single thing about this book. Had no idea that these two characters were going to be related. Not a single clue. And it's funny because my copy of this book, the back is the same as the front. So there's no info on the back. And then the inside flap is just praise about the book. So it's not telling you anything about the book. You don't get to know what this book is when you go into it. You just kind of have to find out. So, I mean, I should like it because it's a lot of like family drama, family stuff. But I do think that Zoe is a really funny character. He has like this really dry humor, but he's also kind of a dick. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this goes, but so far it's like a 3.5 for me. So it is currently 9 o'clock at night, and I haven't read the entire day because it was mostly just hanging out with my family, watching football, and doing all that fun stuff. So I am finally in my bed, ready to read some of my audiobook. I am currently, let's see how far into my audiobook I am. So currently I am 36% of the way through this book, which is pretty good, and I'm super proud of that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be sitting here reading my book, listening to it, probably playing Tetris or maybe Candy Crush. I've kind of gotten back into Candy Crush. Drinking my water, trying to stay hydrated. And yeah, so I mean, so far I don't really know how to feel about this book. I have so many thoughts and feelings. At first I wasn't like super into it. Like I was a little bit let down by kind of the writing style and stuff like that. But now that the main character is kind of in the thick of it and she's gotten to like the goblin realm, it's so much more interesting and so much more exciting. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. I really like the dynamic between the main character and like the goblin prince king person. They seem to have some history that we're going to uncover, so that's super exciting. And I don't know, if you've read this book, let me know what you thought about it. I guess I won't get to know your thoughts until after I finish the book and posted this vlog, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I do want to know what everybody has thought about this book if they've read it, so let me know. Also, look, I have my Taylor shirt on. So cute. I don't know why the neck has like just completely like given out on me. That's so annoying. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go listen to my audiobook, play some phone games, and I will talk to you guys maybe if I have any like pressing thoughts. Okay, so it is Wednesday. I actually got out of the shower a couple of hours ago, I think, right? 2 hours ago, I want to say. I don't know why I needed to know that, but I was actually going to blow out my hair like I typically do, but I decided it's been a while since I've actually like done like a curly hair routine, and decided I wanted to do it today, and it actually turned out really good. Like, look at how nice my curls look, especially on this side. This side looks so much better than this side, but I mean, I still think that they look pretty good. Here's all of my hair pulled to the front. It's a lot. I have it clipped back a little bit, but yeah, I think it looks pretty good for, you know, how much damage I do to my hair typically. So we'll just have a little bit in the front. So yeah, my bangs obviously don't look as good as the rest of my hair. I feel like it's probably because they get more heat than the rest of my hair does. So they never really dry perfectly whenever I do my hair natural, but it looks pretty good. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I think I did a really good job today. Also, I made myself an iced coffee. My brother's girlfriend was here for about a week, and we got her these like iced coffee Vias, and she left a couple of them. So I have just been using them to make my iced coffee this week, and they're delicious. This is actually the last one, unfortunately, so a little bit bummed about that. They're surprisingly good for being sweetened. I typically don't like pre-sweetened coffee, but they're pretty good. I started this book yesterday, Dark Radiance, and this is actually on my TBR, so I'm very proud of myself. We are also matching. I didn't intend that, but this is just the shirt that I decided to wear today. Anyway, started this book. It's by Allison Eldridge, and I'm about 100 pages into it, and I am loving it so far. It is so much fun. It reminds me of a mix between Hush Hush and Legendborn. Very similar vibes to both of those books. kind of smash them together and you get something like this. I really need a pick-me-up kind of book, a very light to read, you know, especially since my last couple of reads have been 3-star books, which 3 stars isn't bad. I didn't hate the books that I recently read. The 3 books that I recently read have been Cultish, which is a nonfiction book about cults, and that one was a bit of a disappointment. I wanted a little bit more from that book, but it was definitely more of like an introduction to cults for people who like don't really know what cults are or have like a misconception about cults. That was kind of more of the vibe, and that wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. So I guess it was also kind of my fault, but I was super excited because I got it from Libby. I had been on hold for that book for literal weeks. So finally getting it off of hold, I literally read it in one day. And it was like really fun to listen to because it kind of reminded me of like listening to a podcast, but just overall it didn't really work for me. This isn't a review, so I'm not gonna go too far into it, but I mean, it's really good. If you're into cults, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, or if you've like never really dived deep into that topic, then I think that that book would be a really good intro. Then I also read Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger, and I had really high hopes for this book because so many people told me it was like their favorite book, their favorite J.D. Salinger book, and they loved it. And I can totally see why so many people loved it. It was definitely really relatable to me. Like the family dynamics were relatable. The feelings of inadequacy were, or like not even inadequacy, but just like feeling like you had so much purpose as a kid and then not really having that purpose as an adult, especially when it comes to academia. Feeling like you're kind of like the odd one out, like you know something that everybody else doesn't know. I could really relate to both of the main characters, Franny and Zoe, for different reasons. I could see a lot of myself in Zoe, unfortunately. I kind of also can be a little bit harsh when I talk to people, especially people that I really care about. And one of the lines in the book is Zoe's mom telling him like, you don't know how to talk to people that you don't like. And that is so me. Like my mom has had to tell me that multiple times, like, you don't have to like this person, but you can't just be like standoffish. Like you can't just be like a bitch to them. Which I totally understand. I totally get it. But I am just like that kind of person that if I don't like you, we are not going to be friends. Like we're not going to talk. Like I'm not gonna be like cordial. Like I just can't, I don't have that in me. And Zoe also doesn't have that in him to talk to people that he doesn't like. And then also a lot of the book, there's like a big section of it where Zoe is basically going in on Franny and like giving her this like really harsh advice and kind of criticizing a lot of the things that she's been saying. And I've been on both sides of that coin of like feeling like Franny and like criticizing so many things and just kind of being in that negative headspace of like, I need to criticize everything. Nobody is doing anything correctly. This is so frustrating. I hate everybody because whatever. And then Zoe's going in on her and like giving her all of this unsolicited advice about her headspace and her mind frame, and like I've been on both sides of that. I've been the one giving the unsolicited harsh advice, and then I've also been Franny, like just having this really weird mindset. And so I totally understand this book. I get the point. I understand, and like I can totally relate to it, but I just don't think that J.D. Salinger is my kind of author. I don't really like his writing style all that much. It's just not for me, which is kind of a bummer because I didn't really like Catcher in the Rye when I read it when I was back in sophomore year of high school. I was like 15. And then I saw so many people loving Franny and Zoe, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be my second shot at J.D. Salinger. I really hope I like this book. And then I ended up just kind of feeling pretty meh about it. And then the third book that I read that I just finished last night was Winter Song by S.J. Jones. I gave that 3 out of 5 stars as well. Technically a 2.75 stars on Storygraph. With that book, I just didn't connect with it in the way that I thought I would. And it was mostly due to the writing style. Like my taste in writing styles just did not mesh well with that book. It's written, I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of written in a very formal fairy tale way. Like, it's not necessarily fairy tale-esque. It is, but it isn't. I don't know. This is not going to be well explained. It's very stiff and formal and keeps the reader at like an arm's length. So I never felt like I really got to like insert myself into the story and really feel it. And that was kind of a problem for me because I just could not enjoy the main character as a main character. And my biggest critique of that main character is that, like, she is constantly, and I mean constantly, talking about how ugly she is the entire time. And I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Like, I love that. I love an ugly main character. I love a main character that isn't necessarily stereotypically beautiful or even pleasant to look at. I've read so many books with main characters like that. And I Darken by Kirsten White, The Young Elites, and I'm sure there's a few other books that, like, this main character is not typically beautiful, like Fairest as well by Gail Carson Levine. One of my favorite books from when I was a kid. I love books where the main character is not meant to be beautiful. I think that that's really interesting. I think that there's a lot of commentary you can say about that kind of stuff, but this was just like, I'm so ugly. Oh, I'm so ugly. Why does anybody love me? I don't understand. I'm so ugly. And it's like, girl, you are the Goblin Queen. Who cares if you're ugly? Like, nobody cares. Literally nobody. I would have been more upset about, like, how my dad wasn't letting me be this, like, amazing composer that I clearly am, but her, like, focus was all on the fact that she is so fucking ugly. And I'm just like, we have different priorities here. Like, I get it. And you know what? I actually would have been more interested in reading about her sister, because her sister was, like, so adorable, and she was so nice and so, like, complex in her niceness. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, she's a nice flowery character, she's just nice. It was like a complexity in that, which I think you can only understand if you've read the book. But this main character was, Liesel, was just like, her whole personality was ugly. Like, she is ugly. That's it. That's all she is. So that was a little boring. I feel like it's almost the same thing as, like, this character's pretty and that's all she is. It's like, both sides of that coin are not interesting to me. Like have some commentary about how ugly she is or how pretty she is or whatever. It can't just all be, I'm ugly, woe is me, you know? I don't know, maybe that's relatable to some people. I have insecurities, obviously, but I mean, everybody has insecurities. That's just a part of being human and living in our society. Unfortunately, didn't enjoy that. I had planned on listening to the second book as well because it was also on Hoopla, but because I didn't end up liking it, I decided to pass on it. So because of that, I ended up looking for other audiobooks, and I really wanted something that was going to be more romance, more light, more fluffy, more just like not sad, depressing fantasy. So I started listening to The Hate Project by Chris Ripper, and it's like a smutty queer romance book, and I am really enjoying it so far. It's already been super smutty, at least in my I always have to make the disclaimer that like what I find smutty might not be as smutty as everybody else, but I felt like this was pretty spicy. But yeah, I really wanted to read a queer romance, so I found that book. And then I also found Dare to be a Duchess by Sapna Bog. But this is a historical romance and the main character is Indian, so I was really interested in this book. It has some like mixed reviews, but it just seems to be that like some people don't find it super interesting. I don't know, but I'm really excited to read it. I do have If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich, but I don't know if I'm gonna read that. I don't know. It is a music book. It like has to do with like a boy band, I'm pretty sure, so it should be right up my alley. I should really enjoy it, so maybe I will read it. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this clip has been really long. So I just wanted to update you all on what I've been reading, what I intend to read, and hopefully this vlog will be so much more interesting than my last vlog. I feel like my last vlog was just kind of like a crapshoot, honestly. It didn't go well. It didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, so I'm hoping that maybe this vlog will be a little bit better. So I need to update you all on everything that's been going on in the past couple of days. I have finished a couple of books. I'm trying to remember which ones I haven't talked about yet. So I'm pretty sure that I talked about Franny and Zoe, Cultish, Winter Song, so I don't really have to talk about those. But I did finish If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich, because it is written by two different people. Typically I don't like those kind of books where there's two authors, it's co-written. The only time it's ever really worked for me personally is like Christina Lauren, and I love Christina Lauren books, so that's like one of the very few times it's ever worked for me personally. But I actually did really enjoy this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a little messy at points, but like in a really fun way. Like I had a really good time reading it and like engaging with the messiness of the plot and just the book in general. It was a lot of fun, and it's about like a boy band, and there is this like romance within the boy band that starts at the beginning of the book, and it's really good, very queer, super fun. There is a gay main character and a bisexual main character, so yeah, I really enjoyed that book. It was really good. Gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. Then I just finished today, this morning, the Bromance book club by Lyssa K. Adams, and I really enjoyed that book too. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I think that might be a new like romance series that I want to get into. I was about to say trilogy, but I think that there's 4 books out right now. So I really enjoyed the first one. It was really good, and I can't wait to read the rest of them because I think that I'm really going to enjoy this series. So I've already requested the second audiobook from my library, so I am just waiting for that hold to go through, and then whenever I end up getting that book I will start to read it and let you guys know what I think. So I really don't know what audiobook I'm going to do now, because on Libby I also have Normal People. That is the only book on Libby that I have currently. I go back and forth all the time with whether I want to read Normal People or not, because I think I've mentioned this before, but I watched, what, 2 episodes, I think? 1 or 2 episodes of the series, the Normal People series, and I was kind of like meh about it. I wasn't like super into it. It was okay, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't something that I like genuinely wanted to like continue. So and like Sally Rooney is a little hit or miss for me. I do really need to finish Beautiful World, Where Are You? Because I was actually enjoying that quite a lot. But I read Conversations with Friends last year and I gave that a 3 out of 5 stars. So it wasn't like a bad rating, it just wasn't like a super standout book to me. So I'm a little nervous to get into Normal People because, like, what if I don't like it? What if it's not my thing? But I know so many people love this book, so I kind of want to give it a chance. So yeah, that's like my dilemma at the moment, but I am still reading this book physically. I am currently 155 pages into it, so I still have quite a big chunk of the book left, but I'm reading it super fast, so I feel like I can get through it. I might try to read some of it tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Also, I went to Barnes & Noble, so I might insert my TikTok that I made of me going to Barnes & Noble. So if I do that, it'll be right here. But I had a gift card and I really wanted to use it, so I got to go to Barnes & Noble. Going to Barnes & Noble is like a trek for me because the closest Barnes & Noble that I have is almost an hour away. So we didn't go to that one because my brother had a game kind of down in Thousand Oaks. So we went to the one in Thousand Oaks. And the book that I really went there to go get was The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. So I probably should have gotten this book back like at the beginning when this book like first came out, but I was really intimidated by the size of this book because I don't tend to read these kind of like massive books anymore. That was like a younger Allie thing. Like when I was in high school or middle school, that was like my thing. I loved reading really long books. But now that I'm old, I guess I'm not that old, I'm only 26, but now that I'm a little bit older, I don't tend to gravitate towards like these huge chunks of book. But I've been getting this book recommended to me a lot. I've been seeing it around so much more, and like so many more of like the little like snippets from the book have been making it onto my Twitter feed, and I desperately need to read this book. I really do. So we're gonna read it. And then the other book that I went to go get was actually War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and the copies that they had there, they had 3 different versions of the book. So they had 2 really cute, very nice covers, and they were both $20 each. And I was like, nope, out of my price range. And then the only copy that they had for like $12 was so ugly. I hated it. I was like, absolutely not. We are not getting that book. It is just too god-awful. I can't do it. I really I really prefer to have pretty copies of books, even if it's a classic. So I'm pretty picky with the cover. So I decided not to get it. So I'm just going to listen to the audiobook on probably Hoopla, or if I can get it on Libby, maybe Libby, I don't know, but we're gonna just listen to the audiobook. And if I end up liking that book as an audiobook, then maybe I'll buy it physically, but it's huge. It's like, it's bigger than this book, obviously. It's like over 1,000 pages, so it was too much. I got like too overwhelmed and I was like, okay, we're not gonna buy that. So I ended up buying this book instead, and that is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling, and this one was 50% off. So I was really excited, and this was one of the books that I had wanted to get when they had done that like huge 50% off all hardcover sale. But I ended up not picking this book up and I kind of regretted it, so I was really excited that they had this book as 50% off still. So, and it kind of is giving me the same vibe as Within These Wicked Walls, which I recently read and loved. So, and that one was pretty like gothic-y, horror-y, kind of sort of like fantasy historical thing. That doesn't make any sense. I probably should have said that as like a gothic historical fiction slash horror. I don't know. Anyway, this kind of reminds me of that book, but in an adult setting. I'm really excited for this book. I haven't heard too much about it, but maybe I will be able to get to it soon. So I'm really excited. This is a book club exclusive edition. That's fun. So yeah, super excited about this book. 2 highly anticipated adult books, so I'm really excited to get to these. If this book is not as good as y'all hyped it up to be, you will be hearing from my lawyer. Alright, so I feel like those are all the updates that I have. I just need to figure out what audiobook I'm going to listen to next, because I've still been in such a big audiobook mood. It is absolutely ridiculous. Hello, Future Allie here to wrap up this vlog because I didn't realize how long it was. I was going through all my clips and I realized that this could possibly be like an hour-long vlog. And while I'm sure that some of you might want to watch that, I don't want to edit that. So I am cutting this vlog a little bit short. So my last clip was obviously my very small book haul from Barnes & Noble when I had my gift card, which is great. That was so much fun. Also, that was a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I will add the other clips into my next vlog. So I'm not gonna like completely disregard them or delete them or anything. So you will definitely see them. They're just not going in this vlog. So I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun editing it. I feel like I had a pretty good balance of like talking clips and then also some b-roll, so that was pretty fun. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought, and if you did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Also go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, Storygraph, TikTok. All of the links are gonna be down below, and I will see you all in my next video. It probably won't be a vlog. I don't know what it's going to be. All right, see you. Bye.
Ooh, I thought it'd be me and you. Oh.